Welcome to the DSB Teaches YouTube channel. In this video, we'll be looking at some of the less talked about effects of the Black Death pandemic of the 14th century, also known as the Bubonic plague. This plague resulted in the death of 75 to 200 million people, which is the highest proportion of deaths in known history. This plague originated in China and quickly spread to Europe through the shipping lanes and wiped out as much as 30 to 50% of Europe's population. The death of laborers compelled the landlords to pay their employees higher wages, which led to greater social mobility, that is, where a person could work his way out of their current class or financial position. Hence, a silver lining of the plague was that it had a positive effect on the class structures of the society in medieval Europe. A not so positive effect, however, was anti-Semitism, which greatly intensified throughout Europe as Jews were blamed for the spread of Black Death. A wave of violent attacks led to the death of entire Jewish communities. Thus, people's assumptions and beliefs about the cause of the plague led to a wanton killing of Jews. The Roman Catholic Church lost status as people turned to mysticism and other movements for salvation from the catastrophe, showing that in times of desperation, people can get inspired by radical and unconventional leaders. This is a common phenomenon in history. Looking at the treatment of women, year 2 the pandemic brought about some improvements. Prior to the outbreak, women enjoyed few rights and were not held in high regard by the aristocracy or the church. After the plague, with so many men dead, women were allowed to own land, run businesses that were formerly run by their husbands or sons, and had greater liberty in choosing a mate. Women joined guilds, ran shipping and textile businesses, and could own taverns and farmlands. Although many of these rights would be diminished later as the aristocracy and the church tried to assert its former control, women would still be better off after the plague than they were beforehand. We often gloss over the socio-economic effects of such a natural phenomenon and only look at the immediate effects. Looking at the deeper socio-economic effects can be very informative, as it informs us of human behavior and tendencies after a calamity and changes our outlook of such calamities. In this infamous plague, we see extreme examples of people's hidden tendencies in the form of massacre of Jews, but also see silver linings in the form of massive change in the social, political, and economic structures.